Wow. It's kind of sad to see 2018 go, but at the same time, now that we're at the end of the year, we can bask in the glory of all the amazing games that came out this year. I mean, they're in our hands, they're available, and my god, the quantity of games that came out this year is ridiculous. Thankfully, amongst all that, there's a lot of quality. I mean, whether you love sequels, brand new IPs, or, just indie games, it was just phenomenal. But yeah, this is a hard list to make, so I had to, really just thin it all down. So yeah, my rules are in this list is pretty much no remasters or re-releases. So these games, I love you guys, but they've already come out. Also remakes, I do allow them, but it has to be more than just a graphical remake, because games like this, which definitely deserve to be in this list, it's just graphics. But it's an amazing testament to it just shows how great this gameplay is, that it's still this relevant and still amazing this, in this era of games. But yeah, regardless, also, sorry, before I get to it, no VR games. It's a separate list in its own. But yeah, let's get to it. Here are my top 10 games of 2018. When I saw this last year at E3, it looked intriguing, but little did I know the actual gameplay is more of a mix of, instead of just, Burnout, an open world, it's actually it's Burnout mixed with Overwatch. And I never thought that I would want that so much in my life. I mean, it is action-packed, it is amazing, it's a fun thrill ride, and the fact is that racing is secondary. I mean, this is a car game, but like Burnout, it focuses more on the destruction. And, some crazy-ass, objectives, like Overwatch style, like, oh, yeah, they do this, go to this marker, kill a certain amount of enemies. It's really a game that I really didn't expect to be that great. I thought it was going to be just, a nice little title, like kind of like shovelware. But my god, it grew into something bigger, and the community is fantastic. The game is just fun. The graphics are colorful. It doesn't have a lot of meat to it, thankfully, even though it does have a good single player. But as an online game, it is a blast to play with friends. Speaking of playing with your friends and having a blast, I mean, it's the same old formula, but with this game, they did something to just make it much more, accessible to new players, and just, it is unbelievable how they were able to make a game so, user-friendly, yet still so, and I mean so intricate, where the hardcore fans will not just think it's, it's the watered-down version. I mean, besides all that, the gameplay is fantastic. The graphics are beautiful, and on top of that, tons of content. And this is probably the best Monster Hunter game that's ever come out. And as a newbie, to the series, like that's already great and everything. But to my friends who actually love the series and have been playing it since the PS2, this was just amazing for them. Now, I was never a huge fan of the more later entries in the series, but I love Soulcalibur 1 and 2. And in my eyes, this one feels like a true sequel to those. I mean, the gameplay's been refined to a T, and just everything from the defensiveness to just the offensiveness just feels just right. Every move, every single, attack has weight to it, and it's just fantastic. I mean, the gameplay, the graphics, everything is just at its peak in the series. But besides all of that, the main reason I love this game is the create a character mode. I mean, this alone sold me. I mean, yes, online play, I mean, literally two story modes, tons of single player content, but out of everything, the create a character mode is one of the best in any fighting game, and it is a blast to just play. I mean, when I first got the game, that's all I did. I just pretty much just browsed through all the created characters other people have made, and try to make my own, and it is just a huge time waster, but my god, is it a blast to use. This is the best Dragon Ball game ever made. I mean, I love Budokai 3, and I think the Xenoverse games are, you know, criminally underrated, but this game right here is just phenomenal. And I mean, and look, yes, I got the Switch version, which some people may be thinking, oh, that sounds terrible. I mean, you bought the inferior version. No! Runs at 60 FPS, runs beautifully, fucking controls are phenomenal. It's just, no matter what you play this on, it is one of the most epic fighting games I've ever played in my life. And not only that, it's one of the most visually stunning. I mean, this game uses rendered cel-shaded 3D graphics. Again, referencing Budokai 3. The graphics there were amazing. But here it looks pretty much picture perfect to the anime. And besides all that, the gameplay is one of the most easiest to pick up and play fighting games, yet hard to master. I've played in a while. The combat is fast-paced as all hell. And that may deter some, because yes, it may be too fast. But for me, it's just perfect. This is a brand new standard, at least in speed. And holy shit. Dragon Ball FighterZ, or Dragon Ball FighterZ if you're not a little brevity thing, is probably the best fighting game that's come out in a while, at least in my eyes. This is sadly going to be one of those games that no one's going to be talking about until probably a couple years from now, but damn it, Valkyria Chronicles 4 is just the hidden gem of this year. And I'm not saying, you know, reviews-wise, I mean, people are giving it, you know, huge praise, but no one's buying it, sadly. And it's a damn bummer because this is easily one of the best RPGs I've played in a while. Not only is the story bonkers with a fictional recreation of WW2, but its strategic third-person shooter RPG gameplay is phenomenal. I mean, as a fan of tactical RPGs, this pretty much scratches that itch. And yes, while the plot and the characters are a little, you know, too anime for in some cases, like, you know, too goofy, I kind of like that. It doesn't take itself too seriously, because when it does take itself seriously, it gets dark. But yeah, it's gonna be forgotten, and pretty much it pisses me off because it is just such a great game. And with the series finally, you know, coming back from the dead, I mean, yes, they've had, you know, past games, the first one being the best one, and then 2 and 3 pretty much missing the ball. This is just a phenomenal return to form. And while it is very similar to the first one, it does its own things that pretty much separate it, and it's just such a huge underrated gem. But yeah, hopefully people play this more, and yes, this is a phenomenal game and one of the best of 2018. Yeah. God of War series. I honestly thought that thing was dead. I'm so glad I was wrong, because with this brand new entry, they've taken this game not only to brand new heights in, like, gameplay wise, but story wise. It is just phenomenal. First, to touch on the gameplay, I mean, the combat is fantastic, it's fluid, but it is tough as nails. And as a person who loves to play the hardest difficulty possible, well, let's just say this game is just as hard as the PS2 games. And for fans of the original, that's a great thing, because nowadays games are getting way too easy. You know, unless they have, you know, From Software attached to it. But right now, this game kicked my teeth, pretty much just made me bite the curb, because it was just heart-wrenchingly difficult. And I enjoyed every second of it. Top that off with a great follow-up story-wise to the original trilogy, and amazing set pieces. And you know, now the whole, you know, Norse mythology we're now following, I can only see this series just getting better and better, and possibly even better than the original trilogy. Yeah. This game was amazing, and it is easily one of the best titles on the PS4. This is the first game since Melee where I went, holy shit, it can't get better than this. Because as people like to give, you know, Part 4 some flack, and especially Brawl, this is the first game where I honestly feel like where they just refined the gameplay to perfection, at least near perfection. And on top of that, the amount of content they give you is ridiculous. I mean, I've unlocked all the characters through, you know, just pretty much going backwards and forwards, doing this, exploiting that stupid, you know, loophole thing. But unlocking all the songs, unlocking all the spirits, and pretty much beating World of Light is truly a huge, and I mean huge, adventure to partake in. Because not only does this game have a lot of content, but it all feels like it's just worthwhile. None of it feels, you know, useless, like you're not wasting your time. This is just one of those games where whether you're playing single player or playing with your friends, it just makes you happy. This game is making all the rounds and making all the lists of the top 10 games, yet I still feel like not many people are actually hearing about it and playing it. It does have its fan base, but for fans of strategic, you know, RPGs, or people who just like strategy games, people who like to just think and like just think about their movements, this is one of the greatest games in years. And on top of that, there's a roguelike tactical RPG structure to it that I honestly feel doesn't really deserve to work, but with the whole, you know, time travel, you know, end of the world kind of, you know, story it lays out in front of you, it's so intriguing to the point where I just want to just keep going back and back and just going through as many timelines as possible. It's addictive as hell. And if anything I just said is the least bit intriguing to you, buy this game. It's cheap. And damn well worth the money, and it's probably worth way more due to the amount of hours you're going to be putting into it. You know what? This may be too high. It may be fanboyism. But at the same time, I feel like it's not, because a lot of people do agree with me. This Spider-Man, and we have games like Spider-Man 2, you know, phenomenal games like Spider-Man on the PS1. This Spider-Man game is easily the best out of every game that's ever come out in the superhero genre. Didn't expect me to say that, did you? And yes, I think it's better than the Arkham series. And that is a tough pill to swallow due to the fact that I love that series, but my god, they did it. Oh my god. I mean, the web slinging in this game feels so damn good. The combat is some of the best in all of gaming. And yes, it's fan service. A lot of the intricate, you know, Easter eggs and the, you know, the story elements, it's all fan service. But I don't care, because it's the right fan service and it just makes me all giddy inside. And on top of that, this is easily one of the best written and best, you know, voice acted, and pretty much, you know, just everything about the story of this game is easily one of the best in all of the lore in Spider-Man. I mean, maybe except for Spider-Verse, but we'll talk about that later. But for now, in a weird way, I'm kind of bummed that this game is only on PS4. I mean, yeah, you know, exclusivity, woohoo, but I really feel like everyone should enjoy this game, because it is so fantastic. Or at the very least, you know, everyone go out and buy a PS4 just for this game. I mean, this is a system seller, but any way you can, if you're a fan of either comic book movies, superheroes, or just good games in general, Spider-Man is one of the greatest games of this console generation. And easily the best one in the superhero genre. Fight me, I don't care. It's that good.
Yes!
This is easily one of the most well-crafted and awe-inspiring games I've ever played. I mean, just the massive open world, the attention to detail, the graphics, just... this whole world feels alive. And on top of that, the story is easily the best part of it. Yes, it's a slog and it's very, very long. But if you enjoy it like a fine book and, you know, don't just binge it, and even if you do binge it, you probably still love it, but the pacing is slow. It's that way for a reason. I mean, you have to, you know, feel the weight of every decision. You have to feel the weight of every single moment that's happening, every event. And on top of that, you really fall in love with the characters. I mean, they make you feel the range of emotions. I mean, hate, you know, love, and just overall sadness. Rockstar has just pretty much hit a freaking home run here, and it is easily one of the greatest games ever made. Not just of this generation, but ever made. On top of that, tons of content, and possibly some of the best shooting. And yes, I understand that it's just a modified, you know, version of the Max Payne, you know, brutal shooting, you know, mechanics. That's probably one of my favorite, you know, third-person shooters of all time. But this, it's not even a game anymore. It's more of an experience, like, you know, like a book is, or like a movie is, or a TV show is. This pretty much transcends above it just being a video game. It is perfect. And that is incredible for me to say due to the fact that I do not like the first one. I understand that that is a far cry for some of you, but yeah, I loved this game. And hopefully the, you know, the rumors of them remaking one in this engine are true, because I want to go back and experience the first one. But after playing this engine, I can't go back to that old way. This is some of the greatest craftsmanship I've ever seen in anything ever. Red Dead Redemption 2, you are probably one of the greatest games ever made. Well, that's the list. And wow, we're nearing the end of this console generation, aren't we? I mean, the Switch is still going strong. I mean, it just came out, but it's been 5 years since the PS4 and the Xbox One dropped. And yes, while 2013 was a meh year for games, I mean, things have just been getting better and better and better each year, and my god, I kind of lie awake at night wondering what the hell is next. I mean, because games are getting so damn good that it's got a plateau or something, right? Because this is just getting ridiculous. Games have pretty much transcended just being just a kiddie thing from the 70s to something that we see as art now. And it's kind of crazy to think that, you know, this is just the hard work of people. I mean, whether you're someone as big as Sakurai or just a, you know, nameless developer who's just, you know, just trying to, you know, make ends meet and just make a paycheck. Just know that your work is not going unnoticed. I mean, especially unappreciated, because what you guys are making is art. These games are phenomenal. It's just fantastic, and every moment we experience with them, every single second, it's not just a child thing anymore. Games have become something more than just a pastime. It's become a way of life for some people, whether it be reviewers or people who are just actually going out there and e-gaming, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, video games have transcended more into just being part of pop culture and more into being actual pieces of art. This is the blood, sweat, and tears of people being put into this stuff. And to think that this could only get better is kind of scary. Because holy crap, I don't think I'm ready. But yeah, well, hopefully PS5 and Xbox 2 get announced soon, and if that does happen, well, it will, but hopefully it happens sooner than, anticipated. I don't know if I'm ready. Because games have just become so damn well crafted to the point that I can't even imagine what's next. But yeah, regardless, that's the video. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later.